Hi folks, I'm Sean McCormick and welcome to the Art and Blog channel. It's Friday, so it's Photo Friday, and in this one I'm going to talk about cameras. I'm going to talk specifically about the camera that's there, video in this, and that's the Fuji X-T2. It's a year to the day since I got it, and I have to say that it has completely changed the way I work with my photography. I started getting compact systems as travel cameras to supplement my Canon system, which is a 5D Mark III, and I've been using Canon all the way back as digital cameras since the D60, and then I've had the 20D, the 30D, the 40D, I've had the 7D, the 5D Mark II, and I've borrowed 50Ds and 60Ds and stuff like that, so I've used them as well. I also had the 300D, the 350D and the 400D. I still have the 400D, which is an infrared camera. So I've had a lot of Canon, and I had a lot of Canon lenses to go with it, mostly L lenses. But now I am all Fuji. I just use Fuji for everything. And the big changing point was that I got an X-T10. I had an X Pro 1, but the speed of focus really just put me off. The image quality was great, and I loved using the camera, but just I was frustrated by the fact that the focus was terrible. The X-T10 solved that, but it had a flash issue, and that I couldn't get the flash to work properly in the clubs. So I was using the Canon 5D3 in the clubs and for my commercial work. But slowly but surely I changed over to the X-T10, and when the X-T2 came out, that's it. It solved the flash issue because it had a much better focus assist light, and so I was able to use that in the clubs. And the lightness in the clubs, I was finding that my hands I was getting terrible cramps after shooting in the clubs with the 5D Mark III, so it was a joy to use the X-T2. So I made a change from there, and I've been using the video and doing video and all that kind of stuff, which you obviously are seeing all the time here. So lens wise, I have a whole huge range of lenses from the 10 to 24 right up to the 15 to 140. I'd love the 100 to 400. I might get it. So in general, Fuji has fulfilled all of my needs as a camera, and the thing is, you get new firmware updates to improve the camera all the time. Like this has gotten focus points on different orientations, which the Canon has, and it's got Wi-Fi tether and a whole load of other things that have slowly but surely been added to the camera. The X Pro 2 is going to get 4K video in the next firmware update apparently, and this is also going to get some additional stuff as well. So it's like you get free features all the time with Fuji that you don't get with other camera systems. Now it did have a major failing, and that was the flash system was poor. I was using the EF42 for ages. I bought that instead of the Nissan i40. I probably should have bought the Nissan, but I didn't get the EF X500 because it was too expensive. But now that technology has gone into third-party stuff. So the first thing that really came out was the V6 Mark II from Cactus, and then the RF60 would allow you to do high-speed sync with Fuji, which was great. And then you could put your other triggers on top of the V6 Mark II and get high-speed sync through your older system as well, which is great. But then this came along. Okay, so this is the X1TF, which is the Fuji version of the Godox trigger, and the TT350F, which of course you've seen me do some videos about. Beautiful little flash, which I just completely forgot to bring with me today. I have the V50 Mark II in the bag because I'm in the studio shooting in the studio, so I wasn't using them. So this, with a custom function of this, with the new firmware, which is easy enough to download, but you do need a PC to put it in. I have a PC for my accounts, even though I'm generally a Mac user. And this will allow high-speed sync on the older flashes, like the one I've just mentioned, the V850 Mark II, and the AD360. So that's a more powerful flash that I can use outdoors for high-speed sync, which is brilliant. I will be doing a video directly on that and the three flashes, the TT350F, which is the same as the 350 for Olympus, which is the O, or S for the Sony, and Panasonic obviously because it's Micro Four Thirds. That's the O one, and I'll do it with the older ones as well, just so that that information is there too. So that is the plan. The lightweight of the Fuji and the fact that you have direct access to the aperture on the lens, and you have the shutter speed and the ISO and dials on the top, means that you immediately have access to the main controls that create the exposure in the camera. You also have the exposure or the metering mode rather right there on the camera, and then your drive button is there to switch quickly between your single shot, continuous low, continuous high, which can be set in menus to 8 frames a second or 11 frames a second if you've got the grip. It's just too many images, to be honest with you, though, for most things. If you're in sports, it's really cool. And then you also can switch to the movie mode on that directly, so that your shutter speed then controls your video, unlike the X-T10, which is on a dedicated function button that you have to hold down and press for a couple of seconds. So I found it to be an amazing camera. And when I'm at shows, people will ask me about them. So I'm just walking around with the camera, people are saying, oh, can you tell me this about it? It's different talking to me because I'm a user of the camera, whereas when they're looking at someone at the table, like for example, at the Photo Vision Roadshow on Tuesday, people were looking at my camera and asking me questions more than they were asking people at the table, because I was holding the camera in my hand. I can give them the camera, but I'm not just letting them play around. I can say, oh, this does this and this is cool, you know, to show them. If you haven't ever tried a Fuji camera, I would highly, highly recommend that you go and play with it and see how they feel. Am I fanboying? A little bit. Do I love the cameras? Yes, but I do it because they suit my needs. And I've been through other camera systems as well, like I say, the Olympus, I had the EM5. I just found that I was fighting the camera all the time. It's a big learning curve on it, and it's easy enough to set up stuff on it, and you've got a touchscreen with a super, you can't just kind of, there's a word for it, I can't remember what it is now, but it's like a super components page where you have access to everything that you can have on a touchscreen. But even at that, the fact that the Fuji is so much more tactile just meant that it was the camera for me, and the image quality is absolutely superb. So it's been a year anniversary of my getting this Fuji X-T2. Do I regret it? Not even in the slightest. It's been a fantastic camera. I love it, I love it, I love it. I'm looking forward to further iterations of it. And I have played with the GFX medium format system as well, and it looks incredible. Obviously you're going back to heavier cameras with that, but the picture quality is just astounding. So folks, this has been my Photography Friday talk. It's just been a little chat about my Fuji involvement. If you have any Fuji questions, please do put them in the comments below. The whole plan now as well is to split off the photography stuff into 2 different things as well. So it might even turn into 3 videos a week rather than 2 videos a week. So I'll have one where I'm doing a chat like this when I'm talking about gear. So we can talk literally about stuff and maybe get the overhead camera. My X-T10 is actually away for repair. It stopped working during the week, but I probably will look into other cameras as well to do more video, so I can get a couple of angles going at the same time. So to do a video, to talk about the gear I'm using, and I also obviously want to show more of my work. So, you know, there's no point in talking about a camera and then not showing work, because, you know, you're like, yeah, but you know, you're just shooting pictures of cats, Sean. But I'm not, I'm actually shooting models and commercial stuff. I'm doing product stuff. I mean, I've literally just done a commercial headshot before doing this video. So folks, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification bell if you want to get notified. And give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.